Okay, everybody, that was, we had a surprise visit from my wife. I thought divorce papers were going to be served there. I was caught red-handed in the kitchen, and you never saw a guy have to relocate so fast. So here we are. So having said that, we dodged a couple of bullets. I try to explain I'm doing this for the peeps, you know, and so I don't know, I might be homeless by Friday morning, but we'll see. So what are the fruits of all of our labor after all of this Rit Dye process? And after even just a few minutes, I'm going to try to show you the results that you can get. And remember, the longer you go, the darker and deeper the color will get. So let's start off with this here. So here we have that Mandalorian helmet that was in the black dye. And now there's what it started out as, which looks really good. And then here's what we ended up with. And it's basically a black Mandalorian helmet, but you still get some of that color and some of that gradient. And I just really love that. And I'm looking forward to doing that custom. And remember, the same process works for the armor. So all of these armor pieces can be Rit dyed with the synthetic dye to whatever color you want. And you can remove, if you want to, you can remove decals and paint apps like those on the shoulder with some nail polish remover. And the nail polish remover will take it off, then wash it with soap and water, then immerse it, and then you'll have a clean slate. So there's that. Then here we have those Rondos. So on the left, you can see this is the factory Rondo, and he's just got that sort of lifeless skin. And then here is two different Rondos that we did. Here is one a little bit more, a little brighter skin tone, and then here's one that's a little bit less so, or I don't know, it's different. But what I did was you can see there's the factory arm and there's his hands after the Rit Dye. And as you can tell, I took the neck peg, the head, and the hands, and they're all now basically a perfect match. You can tweak it a little bit if you want to, but for the purposes of this video, I thought that was a pretty close match. And you can really see the difference between this hand and that head sculpt there. The one over there is a little bit, I don't know, it's a little bit brighter or something. So you have that. So that really kind of indicates the type of tone and color that you can get. And then down here, I did a couple of other things. I also dyed some boots. So those are the factory Rondo boots. And then here's a pair of Rondo boots that I left in about 2 minutes. And then I have the entirely black Rondo boots. So if I don't know, maybe I can get these so you can see. But there's sort of the factory, then there's the mid-grade, and then there's the black. So again, it's all about time and time immersed. So you can take this as dark and as black as you want. I really kind of like the middle ones a lot. That's kind of a nice brown. And once you put the weathering powder on it, that'll darken and still look like brown. Or you can go entirely black. It's totally up to you. And then again, I also included some hands. Here's a factory hand, and then here's the Rit dyed hand after a couple of minutes. And then here's another accessory I did. So there's the Lady J camcorder in that green. And then here's one that I Rit dyed, and then I just put a little bit of weathering compound on it, weathering powder on it to bring out the details. But again, none of this is ever going to chip off like paint because it's not paint. It is now inside. It resides inside the plastic. So you don't have to worry about that type of thing anymore. The one thing I would recommend is when you have a joint, a ball joint or a hinge, make sure that you immerse the piece in different positions so that the entire hinge gets covered. So that's one thing I failed to mention. So just make sure that you put the boot in this way and then extend it so that the portion of the joint that didn't get dyed does, and you'll see what I mean. It will work itself out. And then I have these. Now this is a common brown colored pouch that's common with a lot of G.I. Joe's accessories. And then this was the straight up black. And as you can tell, I took it out right before it went entirely jet black. There's the faintest amount of brown in there, and that's kind of what I was going for because that's going to weather nicely with my weathering powders. But you can see it goes basically as black as you want. And then the other thing too is you might notice that the paint on that one pouch, that same sort of dark green, does not accept the dye. So that's a really nice add-on to it. So you still maintain some of those paint details. And then finally over here, I wanted to show you, this is the difference between two Dusties. On the right, we have the factory Dusty, and he looks okay. He looks okay. But on this side, we have a Dusty that really looks like he's been out in the sun. He's been weathered in the sun, sunburned a little bit. So I hope you can tell the differences there between those two. Those two are significant differences. Now that Dusty was in the Rit Dye for maybe about 1 minute in total. It doesn't take long, so keep a close eye on it. But again, it just makes it look so much more human and lifelike, at least in my opinion. There's just more life to that. So again, I hope this helps. Be sure to wear the gloves. I'm telling you, you're gonna make a mess if you don't. Be sure to clean up. Be sure to shake the Rit Dye very well. Be sure to use hot, nearly boiling water, and if it gets cool, warm it up again, in the microwave or something, because you want to. Part of the heat is it opens up the plastic and it receives the dye so much better. So hopefully this helps. This is my first attempt at trying to do a video like this, and it's really difficult to try to get everything the way I want to do it for now. But as I continue on with this channel, I will invest in better equipment, and maybe we'll do a part 2 to this or an update to this. But I think this covers the basics, and I think it gives you a good idea of what you can achieve, even in just, I think none of these pieces were in Rit Dye for more than 2.5, 3 minutes. So we'll do another one, and we'll do much darker skin tones. But essentially, it's the same process. You just leave it in for longer and longer. And as you can see, Recondo there, the longer it's in, the darker it gets, okay? So anyways, I hope this helps. Thank you so much for looking, and please make better figures than I do. It's really not that hard. Now I've divulged, I've given away the keys to the kingdom. Please make better figures than me. You will, I promise. Take care.